Okay. Hi, Soul Family. I just wanted to invite you into this group with my sisters, and I went to them today with my heart really full of a lot of different things, including sadness right now because of the most recent school shooting. And I have a 12-year-old who's in school and has actually had to experience a lockdown at one point. Thankfully, they were all safe. But as a parent, it definitely is on my mind a lot. And so what Denise and Kathy and I do is we share these things and we share our triumphs, but we also are very vulnerable with each other. And so we wanted to invite you all into this space with us for this particular issue because we really want to continue shifting this and moving to that new earth. So I'm going to hand it over to Denise, I think was going to share something.
Yeah. So as we were talking, Erica shared that one of the middle school children hand wrote a note saying, let's have a walkout. And it's like drawing the line in the sand. And I'm just covered in goosebumps as I'm sharing this with you guys. Mm-hmm. A child is declaring to the adults in the community that we as children are not going to have this in our schools. And the frequency that I was feeling into and that we collectively were feeling into was that sense of building a frequency of this does not exist in my reality. And we've been talking a lot about going from that 1 to 10, right? If we're at the 1, we're in the frequency of fear, my children aren't safe in school, blah, blah, blah. And we don't want to exist in that reality. We want to move up that wormhole and pull it up into that higher vibrational frequency where our children are safe. We respect one another, and it doesn't even enter our consciousness to harm another living human being. And so, Mother Teresa used to say, I'm not going to war against poverty or, anything that I am supporting. She wanted to focus on the outcome. And of course, we don't focus on outcome either. We focus on frequency. So join us collectively to create a frequency of safety, respect, sovereignty, right? And in that frequency, if there is somebody that is suffering from mental illness, that is looking to do something like this person did, they wouldn't even be able to see at that school. It would be invisible to their reality because the energy frequency that's emanating from every child, every teacher, every person in that school is vibrating at a frequency of we love and respect one another. So feel that. Only love exists here. Sovereignty exists here. We are all safe because we love and respect one another. And put your hands on your hearts and just breathe that in. And then we're going to ask Kathy to bring in an OMcode that will help to lock in this frequency and help support this upliftment, this vibrational increase for humanity.
Okay, we're just going to take in 3 deep breaths. We're going to run the blue white light. We're going to run it over the top of our head, and we're going to pause at the 0 point for just a second. And as we're moving past that 0 point, the mouth of God, we're going to take it down the spine. And as we're coming up the spine, we're going to raise the frequency of the spinal fluid, and we're going to breathe it out. We're going to do that a second time. We're going to run that white blue light over the top of our head, pausing for just a second at that 0 point. That point where the fight, flight, or freeze in the brain, we're going to just totally bathe that in this blue white light. And we're going to take it down the spine. And as it comes up, it's raising in frequency, and you're going to breathe that out. It no longer serves you. One more time. We're going to go over the top of our head, pausing at the 0 point, bathing that white blue light in that fight, flight, or freeze area of our brain. We're just going to see it bathe. The divine is just bathing that point to where you feel supported and you feel safe. And we're going to bring that down the spine. And as we're bringing it up, the spinal fluid, which the brain just sits in this fluid. As we're bringing that up, it gets clearer and clearer. And we're going to breathe that out. We're going to focus on the master cell. This is the universal master cell. We're going to bring in the hydrogen atom and the ionic grid around the planet. And those two things, the hydrogen atom and the ionic grid, are just pulsing out safety, sovereignty, and that beautiful frequency of freedom. We're going to bring in this new code, the code that no longer serves us, the fear code. We're going to pull it out. It's just like this little tiny transistor. We're going to pull that code out and watch it go into random. We're going to bring in this beautiful new OMcode. And for this situation, it's 11, 22, 33, 22, 7, 11. And we're going to watch this code start to swirl in our DNA, supporting us unconditionally. The divine is holding us in this frequency. And we're sending this frequency to all the parents that had a child leave too soon. And we know that it is coming to a time in our life where this is all going to change. And whatever small part these children and teachers play will be a beautiful, it will not be in vain. The frequency is going to come in to totally support the world, to support our classrooms, to support our teachers, to support those children walking in the front door, to have interaction with their classmates and the higher learning. It's swirling, it's downloading, it's sequencing, and supporting all of us. We're locking it in. Thank you. I love you. It is done.
Thank you all.
Thank you.